Pfeffer, in this article, Managing with Power, makes, I think, a really interesting observation and an important one for us in that we can understand power and still not know how to use power. Pfeffer is considered one of the giants of managing and leading, probably along with Henry Mintzberg, whose work we've read, John Cotter, who's at Harvard, and then Pfeffer is at Stanford. And he has had a long career of studying power from the very beginning. And actually, I was privileged. He was my MBA advisor and the person who got me in the PhD program at Berkeley, where he started his career. Pfeffer argues the use of power involves will and skill. It is will that is in short supply. I think that's an interesting argument, one for us to definitely consider. And part of his argument, or a lot of his argument, is that people tend to view power as, and the use of power as unseemly, perhaps even immoral. But what Pfeffer points out is that in most organizations, things just don't get done without the application of power, and that if we want to lead change and exercise leadership in the leadership of change in the venue in the way that Cotter talks about, ultimately we're going to be challenged to use power, and he has some very specifics about the use of power in organization. So I want you to please pay attention to the role of will in Pfeffer's explanation, how Pfeffer characterizes the organization in the absence of power, and he largely is talking about bureaucracy, the kind of highly procedural, rational organization that we talked about when we started the decision-making module of the course. And then also how he talks about power and the exercise of leadership and the relationship of power with the authority of the formal position. They clearly overlap, and in some instances he's talking about, leveraging your formal position, but he also understands the importance of the informal sources of power as well. So again, this notion of will, I'd like you to really pay attention to it, and then exactly what does he mean by managing with power? How is power exercised, and how does it motivate action in organizations?